glass on their bed. That's smart. Do a layer of glass.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot about this game. I fully forgot about this game. But everyone else took forever to join too. So it's okay. I joined at 5:10, which is 10 minutes after the game starts when I started stream. And there were like 2 out of 8 people in this lobby. It's 8 out of 8 now though, so we're locked in. Do you want this light on? Do you want the light on? What are we on? We're on food. Food's a good first map here. I like food. It's very aggressive, very, very heavy on the diamonds. And then we were on 8 out of 8. I was so excited, and someone crashes. You know, that's a lot better than a crash during the game. It's a bad sign, though. So we'll hopefully have Exit get back in here in a second, and then as long as our teams are all good. I got on so quick that I didn't get my skin loaded properly, and I'm a ugly default now. Should get some hype with this. So this is semifinals. I mean, this is probably the game I've been most interested in watching because I watched both of these two play in other rounds, and they were really, really solid. Llarp, I think, hasn't lost a game yet, and they beat, oh, they did lose one game to EGT, who I'm pretty sure is pretty solid, and then they kind of buy it in their last round. But Llarp, I've seen, they're really good. They have some of the, biggest name players, and then Gustambos are basically the exact same thing. They both did lose one round. They both had a hard game, but they both made it through. So hopefully, like, if this game is a 2-0, especially a bad 2-0, I'm going to be really sad about it. I like when people say, "What's up, Deanie Poo?" in chat, and I have no idea who they are. There's always someone. There's always one person on my stream who says, "Why is it in 480p?" Can you refresh? Because I don't. I feel like other people will be complaining. It always comes that way to someone. But usually it ends up fine. Our other semifinal. I'll spoil it if you didn't see it already. Oh, it's because we had some issues with that actually. I was gonna say who they're playing, but technically we don't know who the winner of this is gonna play yet, so I won't say anything. You wanna watch that stream? It is up. Alright, let me fix the scoreboard before someone yells at me for forgetting to do that. Alright. So we have Gustambos over here on orange. You see the kit from Nash, and I would assume you see the same thing on the side of Llarp. Yeah, we do. I don't know where. I guess there wasn't enough blocks, so blue. Little mistake at the beginning. They didn't give up both dimensions right away, which is not really ideal at all. Because you had two kits, right? You had two of the builder kits on the side of Gustambos and only one. Is it backwards? Is Llarp orange? Okay. As long as people are playing, this is going to be confusing then, because I don't know the team names. So Juan says that Llarp is actually orange. Okay. Well, I was going to say that we could just play it out with the wrong team names, but I guess Juan says, no, you're on the wrong teams. We're gonna we're gonna restart the game from the beginning. Let me look at the rosters so I know what's going on here. Yeah, so Larp, like, that's what I thought, right? Larp is Nash and Toby Two Spades and Rickster and that whole team. Chao Bao Bei. And then Gustambos is Eldery Snake's team. Eldery Snake, Leo, Stray, Hunties, Executory. By the way, if I'm not saying a name on a team, it's because I don't know how to say it. I'm saying all the ones that I do know how to say. Because people in Minecraft like to replace random letters and especially vowels with like an X and a Q. And then you do that, and I don't know what your name is anymore. Alright, let me real quick pause so we can get into another private game. We're going to be the same map, obviously. Still going to be on food, still going to be North America. I believe both these teams are North American, so they'll all be NA games, so I'm not 100% on that. You can do a check though. It's going to be food as our first map, birthday second, palace third, and they are all going to be on North American servers. I'm a little disappointed about the team swap there because I think Orange, which was Llarp that game, did have a really, they had a lot better of a start because they were able to get both gens. Now it's interesting, right? Because both these teams have played on food a million times, so they both have their own strategy with it. Right. So I don't know. The Gustambos could have decided that they only want one builder kit, and they would rather have the three, I imagine, healer golden apple kits on the other three members, as opposed to basically a second person being nerfed for the entirety of the game. That's a decision they'd have to make, but I don't know if it's worth it, because it's a very big difference between having two builder kits and having to have one person get iron and buy builds, right? Like, really having one builder kit is when you need two to get to mid, having one is really not any better than having zero. So I would honestly expect that that was a mistake. I think you either go all four gaps or you have two builders. I don't think one is viable, at least from my perspective. Not the pro player, though. Someone crashed again. But we are at 8 out of 8 now. I'm sure Juan's going to make sure very carefully that everyone is on the right teams before we start these games. See Eldery Snake over there with the trophy icon from last tournament, last EggWars one. Lucas is playing from a hotel. That'll be interesting. I've never really done very well playing from hotels because the hotels always say they have fast Wi-Fi, and they never have fast Wi-Fi. Even from Minecraft, which you really don't need all that good of a connection to play Minecraft. Alright, we are resetting. It'll be the exact same thing as last time, except obviously the teams are backwards. So I'm curious to watch blue, actually, because this is Gustambos. They were orange last time. I want to see what they do with the kits. And you see actually, oh no, my bad. I was watching Orange last time. So this, they did have the double kit last time. There's someone on Orange saying they can't open inventory. Now you see they did bring 2 kits, so it was a mistake last time. I've never heard of this before. Can't open your inventory. Did that happen once? That might have happened once on Royalty. That's something I would expect that if you died would kind of be fixed, but I'm not sure. You know, it's hard to be a streamer when the game breaks 2 times in a row. I guess the first time was kind of the player's fault.
I am very proud of you. You do?
And then the person who couldn't open their inventory just left. So you know, I'm looking at this and I'm figuring that might be rough because one says they need video evidence to redo, but LPX already left. So let's all pray together that they that they have a clipping software on the computer and they can check that. I wish I could unspectator and just start punching people. That's what I would do right now. There was a bug for a very short amount of time on Java where you could be a spectator and you could fly over to someone's egg and right click it and it would break.
Oh.
So people would jump, people would avoid immediately off of the game start. And then they'd fly over to the other team's base and they'd right click their egg in spectator mode and they'd break it before they respawned. That one was fun.
Did they have obsidian?
I don't really know what we're gonna do right now. Like, I guess if I was blue, if I was Llarp, I would play it out right now. And they did break the egg. Like, I'm not really paying attention to this game because obviously they weren't actually playing seriously at the beginning. You know, so the leather armor is bugged. Someone said in chat. I was told and I was under the impression that was not a texture pack bug. It was a bug with um, the actual Minecraft, right? Because I've seen other people talk about having this. But I will try that. Like I'll take text pack off in between these games and see if it gets fixed. So I mean, like we have fights here, right? Like super cool, Rickster. Lucas has a diamond sword. That's pretty impressive, honestly. Loki has better gear than Rickster does, but these are not serious fights, right? It's a 4v2 and it was never a real thing. Good hits though. Toby almost gets knocked off too. Toby does get knocked off. I mean, like, I like the effort. It's well played. These are obviously really good players, but this is not real. Yes, Jake said in chat, like, you shouldn't need evidence for redo. I'm kind of mixed. I feel like in this case, if it's the first time it happened and it's, you know, like no one had an advantage that was literally off spawn, couldn't open inventory, I would probably be fine with not having evidence for that. But as a general policy, you kind of have to require it. I mean, for like obvious reasons, right? Yeah. So Noodle says the armor thing is a CubeCraft bug. There is another thing, which is leather armor is like super huge and blocky, and that might be a texture pack thing. I do like showing this one off because it's flareful. It's a CubeCraft one and it's cool. But I would I will try. Oh, we'll go on to vanilla after this one. Just check it out. Someone might need to remind me though, because I'm not very good at that. Eldery's trying to get some crits over here. Like I don't really know what to do here. Like I said, I will spectate. I will show the fights off, but I'm not gonna comment over this like it's a super duper intense showdown that was played seriously the whole way through. Yeah, Lance, that's what I was saying, right? Is that I think in this case, if it's right before the game started or it's right as the game starts, I would not see why you'd need evidence. So like JX, I don't know how to say your name. Like that's I don't know what the X in there is representing, so I'm gonna call you JX. But in this specific case, I agree with you. Like policy's policy, it's hard to fix in the middle of the game. Eldery goes down. Super tough fight there. 3v1. What are you gonna do?
Of course you did.
You guys do shock me. Like I have no idea how the amount of viewers I have has gone up during this game. Like that's kind of wild. Maybe like, these are famous people. Maybe like people just love looking at Nash the Basher's username, even though they're not doing anything interesting. So Noodles, the match counts if there's no evidence of the bug that LPX was facing, is what Juan said in chat. Like I said, if it was me personally, I would replay this game either way because this is obviously like a sham game that nobody really tried in this game, and it's very much a shame for a semifinal to end up that way. Rickster tries to go for like a 360 no scope with the leap feather and misses terribly. Maybe Lucas comes back, gets the egg, knocks everyone off the edge, takes a win. But I'd be impressed. Yeah, if anything, I'm glad that was over. So, I'm not going to update my scoreboard yet because if I'm honest with you guys, I really hope this doesn't count. I'm going to pause for a second and go off of my own texture pack. I think it's crazy that you have to exit, you have to go off of a server. Oh, I'm not even on Flareful right now. I just realized I'm on like a random other texture pack I was using. But I'll go back to default. Yeah, you know, Java since 2009 has let you change texture packs from in a server. It's the game textures. I don't know why it's that hard. Maybe there's something with servers, because obviously Bedrock texture packs are a lot more intense a lot of the time. But that's more on the server side, right? Like you can do that kind of stuff on Java too. CubeCraft Java does it with the prefix tags and stuff. It's just less common, or at least in the past was. If anyone remembers our old, I say our, I haven't been with CubeCraft for a while, but the old RPG we had with the like custom designed monsters, that was a good one. So update you guys once I know what's going on with this, if it's gonna count or not. Okay, Juan says in team channel they will be redoing that game. So game one, we're still on game one. It is still 0-0. That bug sham game, I apologize you guys have to sit here and watch it for the entirety of the game, but it is not going to count. Alright, so now we're just gonna hang on and we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for a new private game code and we're gonna play round one, take three. Nice default texture pack, everything will be more normal. I would have been really sad if that was a 1-0 right there from that game. So I feel like even Llarp, who obviously came out advantageous there, I feel like even they'd want to play a legitimate game, you know? Like we were saying, I don't know, nor would I say anyway, if evidence was actually produced or anything like that. But I think everyone who's sensible can agree that in that specific situation, it doesn't matter because it happened before the game started. Obviously, if someone wants to delay the game and say they were bugged like 50 times in a row, then maybe you want some evidence. But in this case, probably not. Am I disconnected? Oh God. Someone tell me if you hear me speaking, because YouTube says my bitrate is 0. If my bitrate is 0, that would be a problem. That would not be good. I am gonna pause to join a game. I think it looks like it's updating still. Now everyone's joining quick. We are excited to to get a game going for real now. Oh, the audio streams bitrate. Okay. Noodle says you can hear. YouTube's telling me that my audio bitrate is 0, but if you can hear me, it's obviously not 0. I will say I've gotten so used to um like smooth chat, non-vanilla fonts that the like blockier vanilla Minecraft font looks kind of ugly to me. I don't really like it. That might be like a that might be a hot take though. One reminds everyone that you can't drag or double click. I think we're still scarred from our other semifinal game. I would hope that at this point, with all the discussion that's been had, everyone would know. But in 2 months, there's going to be another thread with 5,000 views and 100 upvotes to re-unban those things. So, you know, that's what happens. It is what it is. Now we have 8 out of 8, so in 10 seconds, I'll get to hopefully go through some actual gameplay now. That's my plan. We are starting. Show the scoreboard. Alright, I don't see anyone in chat yet talking about bugs. We're on food. We are going to have the builder kits from both people. So this is interesting. So Gustambos does, they have 2 people build. And what Llarp does is they have one who they toss all the builds to Nash, right? So here you're going to see, I was going to say you're going to see one person on each side get diamonds, but it looks like Gustambos was actually able to get all of them, which is a big advantage at the beginning, right? Because these are both level 3. So you can have someone actually basically straight up, I don't think quite, but almost just straight up full iron diamond sword, run back to mid immediately. Which is big. You can see, so the armor looks a little better, but the being frozen while walking is still happening. Toby and Elder Snake are kind of half fighting. I don't think either of them wants to really fully engage. Not really anything to be gained here. Toby can. Like, Toby has more incentive to be aggressive here with the diamonds Eldry has. Gotten hit more though. Just a couple, a little more even. Eldry, like I said, is probably not going to want to take that fight. Rickster gets a couple good hits. It's pretty much impossible to get someone all the way off the edge on this map going that direction towards the bench, but takes him out of the game for a second. Doesn't decide to pursue though. So you can see Leo does have a diamond sword already. This is a big 2v1 here because you want to take this diamond sword out of the game as quick as you can. 2 stone swords is greater than a diamond sword, but not by that much. Especially if you have gaps, it's pretty easy to live for a long time. This is, I don't know what this Q is supposed to be. Is it Chase? I don't know. I'm going to call him Chase. I could be totally wrong though. They are going for the egg. I don't really know what the obsidian at the bottom here does. Unless this is a map where the egg's on the floor. I don't actually remember. It's probably that. But I don't think it is. I feel like the egg is, yeah. So I don't know why the like ring of obsidian around. Chase, just go for it. They have obsidian to block in already, but they kind of botched the placement a little bit. It would have been tough even so. It didn't look like they had enough there to fully block their way in. Because that would have taken more than 5 obsidian, which it looked like they had. I guess you could block in with 5 if you were perfect, but you'd have to like place other blocks to place stuff on top of it. Would have taken some crazy keystrokes. This is big though. Now I don't want to miss anything over here because Toby's obviously going to win that fight. But this has to be a trade because blue is nowhere. And yeah, so orange's egg goes down over there. But the rest of orange is here. Now Rickster was able to get armor, and it looks like they're not going to trade off. Oh, they will, because Lucas gets built, and that's a really good play. Light blue egg over there. Lucas is going to try to run away. Probably, I can't imagine they make it. They have a... Wow, that is incredible. I didn't know you could do that. That's actually really crazy. So that's kind of what I expected. Both eggs down. No deaths. Eldery's in a treacherous spot here, though. I like the leather boots. Leo comes in with a diamond sword. That's going to be a huge help there. Ferns have tabled. Nash and LPX over here. LPX wants to back up. Nash wants to back up as well. No one wants to die in leather right now. Eggs are gone. Mid 4 blue for Llarp right now, but that's a big start. Like that's a very, very intense start to this game, which I love. Toby just fully ignores the other people. She's a 2v. It's a 1v1 in teams. We're not teaming, but Toby decided didn't want to take that 2v1. Gets spun around a little by Lucas, but this is dangerous, right? You're in leather armor. I'm sure you have gaps, but leather armor does not give you very many hits against a diamond sword. Not at all. So I mean, you already look at the teams. Obvious gear advantage in favor of Llarp, which I'm kind of surprised about because they didn't get diamonds off spawn. But they just, you know, when Gustambos goes back to buy stuff, these gens have so much on them that it, you know, like 2 level 3 gens in mid is why food's interesting, because they're so near each other too. The just amount of gear you can get really quick is different than other ones. Is that a wood sword? I guess we're, you know, this is like a knockback stick basically, because you're not killing anyone with that thing. That was a good hit there. Good clutch as well. This is dangerous for Eldery. You're only in chain, right? You don't want to be 2v1ing. Teammates show up though. I wonder if Toby's low. I'm surprised to see Toby running there. And he gets chased down, leap feathered by Eldery. Kill would be huge here. That, okay, Toby was low. Huge kill from Eldery. I was going to say, they almost got a hit off the edge there, but they ended up getting the kill anyway. LPX, I'm not sure how, I guess maybe Toby had no gaps. I'm not sure how you die to health there. A lot of people. They could have just been getting 2v1 the whole time, getting beat down, and I wasn't able to see it. Chase is getting fought as well. Again, like, the iron armor is good, but no one's afraid of you because you're rocking a wooden sword. So, you're just not killing anyone. Not able to clutch there. Chase goes down. There are 2 remaining. Still totally possible, right? No egg, but it's going to be rough, especially because Rickster's at mid and is now getting full 3v1. And their teammates in leather. Nash is still in leather. That might be the, like, you know, I said they had a gear advantage. I was neglecting the fact that I couldn't see Nash, and Nash was in leather. Maybe it's not leather. Maybe it's just some very dull diamond, and Nash is the most geared player on the map. I mean, if I'm orange right now, if I'm Gustambos, I'm just running in immediately. Like, I don't want to let anyone get bows. I don't want to let Nash start getting actual armor. LPX does show up. Now, obviously, the same thing is that they don't have particularly good gear either. Gustambos doesn't. It is good to have one member here. It means that, you know, in case they did get a bow or something like that, they're not able to run to mid, and they're not able to really just sit here and focus down shooting people off bridges. Although obviously if they had a bow, you'd want to be in a more secure location. This one right now, I feel like you have to consider it. Like, I don't know what's going through the mind of Llarp right now. It really feels to me like a bow is the only way you get out of this. You know, we're in the semifinals with the quality of both of these. You see a bow on the other side, actually. But with the quality of both of these teams, I really don't see you winning a 4v2. Like, you can be better. I'm not saying which team is better, but yeah, Nash goes down.
Yeah.
But like winning a straight up 2v4 PvP at a level like this is pretty much impossible, no matter what. Down there, well, not quite down because again, you know, food, having a picnic, land on a picnic table, but kind of prolonging the inevitable here unless Rickster can pull off the greatest miracle in the history of this server. Little juke there, I like it. I could kind of, I don't know, broke Leo's ankles there to stand still for a second. Is able to get back over towards orange, but that is an enormous amount of knockback from a fireball. I've never seen that before in my life. I feel like we're watching a mini game right now. It is very impressive. You know, Rickster's making some pretty silly plays, but everything good must come to an end. Alright. Pretty even game. I think it got out of hand a little bit because one death led to many more. But definitely like a 51-49 type of matchup, right? So it's going to be, up to my score, it's going to be 1-0 in favor of Gustambos. Even in the semis, we're still in a best of 3, so one more win for them would be it. We'll play 3 if Llarp are able to win the next one. I think a big difference in that game is like Gustambos played a little better as a team. Like at mid, you had like per player, aside from Nash, Llarp had better gear across the board. But they ended up still, I mean, it might be because obviously Nash was the one left alone without being able to buy gear, who was only in leather, wasn't really participating in those fights at all, and you got left with 3v4, which led to people getting picked off, singled out, and kind of taken out one at a time. So team play, I think, would be the biggest decider there. And if you go even deeper than that, like I said, it'd just be the amount of gear. But like I said, you can tell from watching that game that both teams absolutely know what they're doing. And I wouldn't be worried about any crazy bad game for the next one. Someone's new in here, so it's not going to be 1-0. The first game didn't count. It was someone was bugged and left right at the beginning, and we ended up playing the game out in case that they couldn't produce evidence about it or whatever was going on with them. I wasn't involved. And that game ended up not counting, as it really shouldn't have counted, because if you watch that game, people really weren't playing seriously throughout.
Why are they doing so much damage?
Llarp did end up winning that game, but like I said, it was a 4v3, and even in a, you know, they were like taking screenshots with each other during the game. It was just, it was not a real thing that happened.
Oh my god.
I didn't even remember this map was still a thing that we were doing in League. I haven't seen this in a long time, but we're playing on birthday. I don't know, someone tell me I'm crazy, but I haven't seen birthday in a long time. But that is what it is, so I'm excited to see kind of a new interesting map. Repo, there were actually 3 games technically, because the first game, they chose the wrong teams, they were flipped. But it all work out in the end. Honestly, 1 game, 540, like that's a long time, but it's not, you know, I've seen worse. Because the actual game was reasonably fast. Juan got ghosted. Said, is everyone ready? And no one answered. God, I don't even know how to comment on Birthday because it's been so long since I've watched it, but it has this big old enormous mid. I don't know, in the sense of its like tiered structure, it's pretty similar to Palace, but it's to Royalty. But it's definitely unique. And it has this little side island for the Diamond Gen, which produces a lot of interesting stuff. This I didn't know, that 2 bridge kits gets you all the way there. So that's interesting. We only see that on the side of Llarp going for the 2 kits, which doesn't get them a ton, because it's still a pretty long bridge, but they are able to get to some of these gens first. And I would expect them both, call you Chase and Nash. I would expect them both to run. Although, Nash is taking their sweet time running. I can't imagine you're going to stay at mid for very long. You have no gear. They are going to go back now, it looks like. No? Yes? There they go. So that's pretty big off spawn, and they don't give up too much mid either, right? That's kind of the trade-off that happens sometimes, is you rush in with no armor, you get some stuff, and then you end up giving up mid control. It's only 2v2 in mid right now, so it's not any type of crazy difference, which is big, because if you get the initial and then you give up the entire mid control, you're going to still be losing pretty fast. But now what I would expect is that you're going to have Nash, or, I mean, Nash likes to not really get any gear, but I would expect you have someone who's going to show up, unless they decided to upgrade the gen instead.
Oh no.
Rickster and LPX have been kind of on and off fighting. LPX was able to get a diamond sword and get back, which is impressive. I didn't even see them at mid earlier. Like Rickster, now you have a 2v1, you might be able to win. Pretty much never winning that against a diamond sword and leather, because it's just the damage difference is so crazy. Even a 2v1, honestly, if you were going to win a 2v1, it would be this, because the diamond sword is insane. Good trades, though. And now they have a second teammate. LPX is going to look to crit one of them out. Gets one. I mean... Oh, do I have that backward? Lucas... Oh no, Lucas is on that team. I was messed up. Toby is the one with gear. Toby has a diamond sword. 2v1 is still rough, though. And just kind of back straight up. Nash is going to help. Nash has more gear than the entirety of last game, which is good. This is Lucas, who is just pulling straight up towards Llarp. No fear at all. Now a little bit of fear. Well played by Chase to get those hits. That was a really nice little bridge play, though. That little flick back. Goes for a trade. Lucas gets a 2-block extension clutch right there. That is pretty huge. Rickster gets knocked off. You saw the little sword flash there. Rickster does have a diamond sword as well. Lucas sees a diamond sword and says, you know what, I'm going to come back another day. Let me get some gear too. No? Was it a bluff? Did they go back and crouch and then come back? I don't know what that was. This is interesting. LPX gets a kill in mid somewhere. Elderly is coming to support as well. Maybe not. We're just playing a lot of, like, bluffs. Like, I'm going to run one way for pretend and then go the other. Almost gets Nash off. They missed one hit right here that would have for sure knocked Nash, barring like a 3 or 4 block clutch. Goes for a jump around. I said barring a 3 or 4 block clutch. There's a 4 block clutch. That looked like some bad knockback, but it was obvious because Nash was a head hitter there. Everyone's clutching. None of those looked like any crazy CPS clutches, so I don't want to hear anything about that. I think it was just impressive. Lucas is like a bridge expert, though. This is this is pretty hilarious. And I think the goal is that they're just, you have multiple people here who are just not allowed to go to mid. And at the same time, you're trying to stop people from getting back from mid. I don't know if Rickster has anything or if they're purely trying to take Lucas out here. It looks like they have something because they are just, at least they were trying to get back. Now they're in kind of a rough spot. I want to see Lucas get a pickaxe. I want to see Lucas get one of those, like, good play there. Almost gets him, not quite. I was going to say, I want to see Lucas get like a 40 diamond pickaxe and just start spleefing people on a bridge. It seems like they'd be very good at doing that. But now we have 2 people over here because LPX showed up as well. Lucas is just going to drop straight down on Nash, gets a couple good hits. LPS is not even breaking blocks, or not even placing blocks, just straight up breaks it. And gets it, right? So LPX had the pickaxe I was talking about. Lucas is back here. Almost gets Nash off. This would be big if they were able to get Nash off right away. Nash probably going to run onto the bridge, and they do. Gets followed, though. Lucas gets that kill, so that's big. It's 4v3 now. Lot of danger for Llarp. This is going to be a very, very tough game to win now. And Toby can't die. Chase, like last game, is only rocking a wood sword. So Toby is in the driver's seat of this fight right now, but gaps plus a diamond sword probably change that pretty quick, especially if you're just trading crits. Looks like Toby's probably going to run, not quite. I mean, they have a 2v1 here. Toby wants to buy some stuff, but you do have to watch out for your teammate who's on leather, right? That was good. Lucas drops back down, gets a 2v1, pretty quick kill. Now it's a 4v2. Like I said, once it goes down to a 4v, like 4v3 is maybe, 4v2 even no eggs is rough. But 4v2 when you don't have your egg, and you see Rickster dies on the other side, Chase goes down there. That's gonna be it. Second game was a lot more lopsided. Obviously, across the board, well played from both teams, but that one was handled pretty well by Gustambos. So I'll update my score. I don't want to close stream too early that one like I did that one time when it's actually a best of 5, but it is a best of 3, not a best of 5. So that 2-0 means that Gustambos have taken it. And it's going to be technically right now we don't actually know who they're playing. They're going to play one of placeholder or team OP depending on some decisions that I am not a part of. That's his whole own thing. You can watch that stream, see what happened in those games. We'll see what goes on with that, but no matter what happens, this team will be in the finals. Gustambos, as they should be. This is very, very deserved, this game, because like I said, both these teams are super, super strong. So obviously, no schedule for that one yet, because we just found out who's going to be in it, but keep an eye out on the calendar, see when our final is going to happen. Our only other thing we have scheduled right now is in just about exactly a week, have a Java final with our Java defending champs playing. See if they'll defend their title or not. They're defending champions in EggWars specifically, not whatever the last Java tournament was. They could have won that one too, but I have no idea. I totally had my scoreboard on that game, but that's okay. It was a short game anyway. I'll get better at remembering that, I promise. I don't know what time it is in Europe. Probably morning. I don't know if most viewers are now. Most viewers are probably North American. It's a North American game. If you're like me, have a good night. Otherwise, have a good whatever.